Hi, I'm Eugene Obah, the host of Fit to Speak, and I just wanted to take a little bit of time in a bonus segment to talk about what has happened here Sunday, June 8th, with the UFL Conference Championships. You had on the USFL side the Michigan Panthers defeating the Birmingham Stallions, and then on the XFL side of it, you had the Defenders, the DC Defenders, defeating the Battlehawks. And I think the big top line, I think the big takeaway from this is that somebody else is going to win the championship this coming Saturday. And I think that that is very important for a young league to have somebody else this time actually win the championship. Now, think about it this way in terms of the merger. Now, granted, yes, the Arlington Renegades, when the XFL was a league, won that year's championship. But for all intents and purposes, in terms of this merger, what have you, in terms of spring football, Birmingham, the Stallions have won this 3 times: 2022, 23, and 24. And one of the things that I thought in terms of this weekend coming into this was that the league, if I'm somebody who's running the league, you need to think about the overall bigger picture, if you will, the long-term prospects of the league and what is best for those long-term prospects. And I certainly believe, especially looking at the attendance that Birmingham has had, which is, okay, but not exactly something that, I would really write home about quite candidly, especially given their repeat performances, their three-peat performance in terms of the championship. I just thought that Birmingham, in many ways, had they gone into the championship this Saturday and had they won, or even if they lost, I did not think that that was going to move the needle in any real measurable way. I do think that you need to have some illusion of anybody winning this, especially with how young this league is. And thinking about the markets, really with Michigan, with the Panthers, they were the only markets who actually increased their attendance. And I think that they very much are a high upside market. I think that they stand to really gain from being in the championship. And I think even winning the championship would be even a better look for them, and especially going into next season. Now, I think when you win, you have threats. Now, again, with Birmingham, yes, they've been winning, but the attendance, there's not much to show for it there. So I was very delighted this evening that really we're going to have the league that is going to have somebody else besides Birmingham actually win the championship. And I think that it's going to be all the better long term for the league. Now, the other thing that I think was also probably interesting as well for the league is that St. Louis, I mean, the performance on the night was just not particularly great. And to be a fly on the wall at the league headquarters on that performance right there, given that the championship this Saturday is going to be held in St. Louis at the Dome at America Center. If I could be a fly on the wall on that, I will be like, oh, there's probably a lot of sadness over there. I'm sure that publicly they're happy that DC is in this, but I think deep down, I suspect that they're probably not very happy campers over in Arlington, Texas, because had St. Louis actually got into the championship, you could imagine that the Dome would have, if not sold out, at the very least, you could have, real surpass even the 35, maybe even 40,000, maybe, in terms of the attendance. So that optically would have been really, really good, especially getting in the casual fans and that sort of thing. But alas, that was not the case. So this coming Saturday, we will see how things shake out with this. I think you've got two great quarterbacks with Bryce Perkins and Jordan Ta'amu in there. And it's going to be a barn burner, this. But definitely, I think the big takeaway from this evening was that somebody else that's not named Birmingham are going to win on Saturday. And I do think that in large part, the league is going to be better because of it. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to the championship on Saturday, and I hope to provide further developments, commentary, and insight in future editions of this program. We will not be silenced.